Hello and welcome to Heim Time. I'm Travis Heim,
I'm Emma Heim.
and this is the number one rated meat/bean focused podcast in the greater Fort Worth area. So thank you for your support. We're happy to be back. Episode, I don't know what episode it is, but we had our good friend Sam Anderson as a guest today.
Yeah, Quaker City Nighthawks. He's awesome.
he's great. So Sam is in the band Quaker City Nighthawks. He also plays solo every now and then. But Sam is awesome. Quaker City Nighthawks, one of our absolute favorite bands. Sam allowed us to use the song Good Evening from El Astronauta. And that was the name of the album for Quaker City Nighthawks. The song is Good Evening as our title song, so we always play that in. Everybody asks what song that is.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. He's a great guy, the pride of Haltom City, big time foodie, great.
Nachos.
Yeah, big time nacho guy.
Nachos.
Nacho expert, I would say.
Scholar.
We've already had Daniel Vaughn, the barbecue editor, Texas Monthly barbecue editor. Sam, I think, could be a nacho editor. I don't know if they're looking for that role. But Sam's awesome. He's a great guy. He's a good friend. We've had a lot of good times together. And it was just fun BSing on the podcast with him, talking all things growing up in the mid-cities. The perfect nacho talk was great. Nacho talk was everything I thought it would be. So that was awesome. So anyway, it's a great episode. Please, if you're able to, support the podcast on patreon.com/HeimTimePodcast. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at HeimTimePodcast. Patreon is just a way you can support us. This thing doesn't make any money unless we have sponsors, and Bush's Beans hasn't knocked on the door yet.
Still waiting.
Who knows? So that's a great way. We're up to 13 Patreons. It's been awesome. Patrons. But anyway, this is a great episode. You like it. Sam's awesome. Thank you for listening. Hit it, Paul.
Good evening from Fort Worth, Texas. It's slow here in the heat. We're down Main Street.
Welcome to Heim Time Podcast. My name is Travis Heim.
I'm Emma Heim. And welcome.
We are very, very excited today. There's someone special in studio who I won't look at yet. I just want to intro you, who is a close friend, somebody we have a lot of respect for. You may recognize his silky vocals on our opening song, Good Evening. Our friend, Mr. Sam Anderson.
Woo!
Good evening.
Welcome.
Hello.
Good evening.
Thank you for coming. We
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Super last minute because anyone following the podcast knows we've been a little bit busy lately. And so we really appreciate you coming in. We do want to shout out John, Big John. It's his birthday today.
Yep. Happy birthday.
Shout out.
Happy birthday, Pops. And two, you guys got any plans?
Yeah, we're going to go do dinner at their place tonight. I think he
Very nice.
had to put in a special request from my mom. So
Okay.
I don't know what that's going to be, but it'll be delicious.
Something good.
Food related?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the other requests.
Sorry.
But,
Sorry, I already ruined this podcast.
That's good.
So, anyway, John is awesome. He supported us, our food truck, Heim Barbecue, and everything for a long time. I really like that guy. So anyway, happy birthday to John. That's awesome. So yeah, let's get going. Sam is in the band Quaker City Nighthawks. Also, you do a lot of solo performing too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of everything. And so hopefully you've heard his music, their music. If not, then get on everything really. But the website, all that stuff you can buy. just buy a bunch of stuff because being a musician kind of sucks right now. So
At least half of it.
So in general, the first question we usually ask is, how are you? How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. I'm experiencing a little bit of a sprained ankle right now. So an adult sprained ankle.
Okay.
So that's
Dude, I've sprained both at one time.
Oh,
and
God, yeah.
none of this was from any sort of athletic endeavor at all. So that's the more embarrassing part. But other than the ankle, feeling great.
Yeah. I saw you had a little hitch in your giddy up on the way up the stairs. Charity work related, doing some charity work and
Mostly
just
charity work,
and,
just, feeding the homeless and stuff like that.
Good.
aggressively feeding the homeless,
just trying to
full speed
trying
running,
to feed the hell out of them. So.
spraining your ankle. I just envision you at a like a lunch line, just throwing food, running back,
just whipping
and
it out
forth.
there.
Yeah, we're getting off the rails. Well, awesome, man. Seriously though, it's awesome to hear you're doing well. I know, like we had Grady Spencer on a month ago at least, and he was kind of talking about the struggles of being a full-time musician in the middle of a pandy, as we've called it, a pandy.
Yep.
So when was the last show you played?
Our last, we got stuck on tour right when everything started shutting down. We did a full West Coast tour in February, and then David, the guitar player in our band, and myself did a kind of a duo tour up through the Northeast, and we kind of got stuck in Vermont trying to find a way to get back home when they started shutting everything down. So, so it's been a minute.
Like the furthest possible place.
Yeah, of all the places.
Yeah. I mean, although Vermont's a pretty nice place to be stuck if you're gonna get stuck. It was beautiful there, but
That's awesome.
Should go there one day.
Yeah, and I guess I saw that. It's weird to see because I keep bringing it back to Grady because I've only talked to like 5 people over the last couple of months. But he had all these dates booked and everything. It was crazy. Where all y'all go on the West Coast?
I guess we started kind of in like the Colorado area, went up through Oregon, Washington, came back down through San Francisco and
That's
LA and back through the Southwest. So
That's so sick.
and then took
That
off to the
is.
Northeast with just Dave and I. So
It's super cool.
I know, that's awesome. I have a bunch of questions that I always look, but I did want to say though, shout out. This is the hometown of Sam Anderson,
Haltom City.
Haltom City.
Yep.
What's
I
up?
used to ride bikes all over these streets.
BMX or
Yeah,
pegs? No pegs?
no pegs.
Okay.
No pegs.
See, we had like we would do the pegs on like one side.
Yeah,
because
just
you thought you were actually good.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I had no business with pegs on my bike for sure.
yeah. You would always usually. I mean, that was the move, right? If you had like a buddy over, you just like stand on the pegs.
Yep.
And there's like nothing gay about that either. You know, nowadays kids probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
but
they
it was
probably
like,
wouldn't enjoy
back
it
in the
anymore.
day. It's just a couple of guys hanging out. You know, it's not a big deal.
Hop on these handlebars. Let's go up to 7-Eleven.
Yeah. My
Slurpee
friend,
time.
I remember my friend had like the first BMX bike out of our crew, and he lived off Travis Avenue. Shout out Amory. I think he listens. But we would cruise. I'd cruise on the pegs. Usually I'd have to ride the pegs because it was his bike. I get it. Got some weird looks, you know, in
Still bitter,
South
I
Side,
guess.
not North Side, South Side. No, I'm saying like it was cool, like it wasn't anything weird about it. And then when you become an adult, it's like, you know, oh whatever. But you know, who cares?
You guys should do like a party and ride bikes again.
I mean, I think
Just have
that's
a
what we're working on right now.
Just get a get together going back. And do it for Thanksgiving. It's supposed to be nice weather.
Yeah, we were on vacation one time and saw Ryan Nyquist in a pizza shop.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I think that's Ryan Nyquist. And she was like, who the hell is Ryan Nyquist? Like, you're not caught up on like
Pizza was good.
early 90s BMX pros or whatever.
OG extreme sport enthusiast.
Not at all.
Yeah, I think that's who it was. Because Dave Meir is the one that passed away,
Yeah.
sadly. Rest in peace. But yeah.
We
And
got
it
to-
was. I Googled him and he was there just
You were
eating
like,
pizza. It was
oh
weird.
my god.
I know.
We got to hang out with Travis Pastrana.
Oh really?
He's one of the whiskey
I know who
companies
that
we do work with, Black Feather Whiskey out of Salt Lake City. He's, I believe, part owner in the
Nice.
in the company. So we were filming a little live session there, and Jeremy Rawls, the owner that does like Nitro Circus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I think Travis is gonna swing by if that's cool with y'all. I was like, well, let me ask the guys,
Yeah, I don't know.
I was like, is he gonna like parachute in, or like does he just pull the dirt bike right into the building, or like
yeah. Yeah, it's like Brian Deegan coming, because then maybe I'll get fired up.
Yeah.
But yeah. These are obscure motocross references.
Fine.
So
It's fine.
we have a very niche audience.
Welcome
Sam,
to Motocross Chat with the Himes
Sam and
Sam, yeah.
Trev.
Sam and Trev.
Yeah,
I do know who he is though. Wasn't he like on some MTV show?
probably
Travis.
he's the
Right?
guy that's
Nitro
been
Circus
doing
and all
it
that
forever.
stuff, but he's like pinnacle extreme
Yeah.
sports guy.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think
Action
he
sports, I
literally
think,
jumped out of
yeah.
an airplane without a parachute.
Yeah.
Did you
That's-
selfie?
That seems smart.
We did get pictures with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
Or it didn't happen?
Yeah.
We I didn't get a photo with Ryan Nyquist. Now
Well,
that I
we were
think
like
about
trying to
it.
be cool.
Yeah, it was like, just
were
a couple
like-
of BMXers here having
Yeah.
pizza. No big deal. Travis Pastrana, though, they've been playing the X Games,
Yeah.
because
there's
highlights.
nothing on.
Yeah, old highlights, and they had like the first trick motocross, whatever they call it, but where they do the tricks and
Yeah.
stuff. And he was like 16, I think. in
Yeah.
it, and then he's been doing it forever. And I think I remember seeing has had like 50 surgeries
Oh, I'm
or
sure.
something, just destroying his body.
Just how boring does like regular life have to be for him? And when he's not like jumping out of a plane or like doing a backflip or
Like
something, like
sleeping.
yeah. Does a
Sleep is
backflip
boring.
in and out of bed
like
just
going
to
to
wake
Six
up.
Flags has got to be so boring. He's like, whatever, like
To us, that's extreme though.
roller coaster. Who cares?
Yeah, Six Flags. He's just like hanging off the Mr. Freeze just as it goes. Like,
I'm gonna do this
no,
one without the restraints on.
hanging upside down. I haven't been to Six Flags in a while either.
No.
Um,
It sounds like a little bit Rony over there, probably.
Yeah, that sound like a
Okay, well,
super safe
guess
place to
they're
be.
not going to sponsor. So
Yeah.
I mean,
thanks,
sponsor
guys.
Six Flags Over Texas. Hey, I used to have like a yearly pass, season pass
for
for years. For years, of course.
Go pick it up at Tom Thumb.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, season pass was the move when
Yeah.
you were younger.
You pay for it in 2 visits
Mhm.
according to their sales. So
One of my best friends, our best friend, Stephanie Quintero, we would always do that. And it was kind of, I think, too, like, looking back on it, it was like the parents just drop you off.
Yeah,
They're just like, well, at least they'll be locked in this amusement park.
Here's
for-
$10 for Subway at lunch. That was the best thing about having the card. You didn't have to get your hand stamped. Just go
Yeah.
eat at that crummy Subway they had down the street, so you didn't spend $35 on a hamburger.
I'd always, too, I'd love, you probably, I mean, you were a sportsman, I think, too, right? When you were
Yeah.
younger. Obviously, you have an ankle injury related to
Yeah.
that, but
Still going.
yeah, I would always want to do the basketball games.
Oh, yeah.
And then again, like as an adult, you're like, there's no way those things were regulation.
No,
right?
like they're like the exact size of a basketball. So it was pretty much a perfect shot.
the perfect circumference of a basketball. I think you had to be standing on it and with
Yeah,
all your
I mean,
might.
you got to
push
get a
it
pretty
through.
high arc
Yeah.
if it's going. They're also like 40 feet away. I
they
feel
are
like
really far.
Yeah, that's
I
like a
was-
Steph Curry shot.
absolutely annoying kid with the North Carolina basketball
Dude.
walking around Six Flags though for
with like
sure.
with a Tweety bird in the other arm.
Yeah.
I'm not even. Yeah, that's hilarious. You say that was the same way,
Yeah.
but the big thing too, even as a child, I had some sort of delusions that like I could get into Duke University at one point. Like I remember in middle school, Paul too. Yeah, I was in the Duke had like a program for. This was when I left private Christian school, went to public school, and then they're like, you are in 6th grade and you know how to read. Congratulations, you're going to go to Duke.
You're probably going to
And
go to Duke. Yeah.
had a fast track program where you like basically it was like, yeah, and it was like, oh man, this is so cool. So
Gonna
then
read my way into Duke University.
I remember really believing that. And then my friend Stephanie was a big North Carolina fan. And so, and two, like her mother, who's a wonderful lady, was the one who would like, what does it take to win this basketball? $50, $60. So she just like just give us money and we're just chucking basketballs and like,
Yeah.
some like 105-pound kid trying to shoot a 70-foot basketball
back.
shot. Yeah, some like, you know, anyway. So yeah, I respect that. But no, seriously, like this ball that was made in China by somebody who doesn't even know what school is or North Carolina.
Yeah.
And it's maybe cost 30 cents to make, and then we spend $500.
Oh yeah, just trying to hit that shot.
Approximately $500 to get it and just to carry it around Six Flags, really.
Just so you can bounce it in some ketchup. Somebody left it on the ground or something like that. Smash French fry with it.
It's kind of like market value, though. I guess, like, you know, too, if you win like a teddy bear, when you're in Six Flags walking around, you're like, this is priceless.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's looking at me.
It's a status symbol for sure.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy doesn't mess around on the midway.
Yeah.
Last time I went to Six Flags, I chaperoned seven-year-old girls, and it was pretty miserable.
Where was I?
Definitely got tricked. You would not come, and we got in a huge fight that day. But I did it for the kids.
Because I knew it was going to be terrible.
It was
I didn't
terrible. It was terrible. But I hope those kids are doing well.
Just hot and like I remember the first time I went. Like,
wet from those rides.
Hey, I wore jean shorts one time when I was a kid and like hit that splash waterfalls and then just chafing the rest of the day. Like I remember after that, it's like going swimming trunks only at the Six Flags. Like you just got to show up with swim trunks on.
That's a good call.
Dude, it is miserable.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, I mean, you know, it's like, you know, learning at Six Flags is like sticking a fork in a socket or whatever, right? Like I distinctly remember hitting the splash with the where you stand on the top,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
bridge,
on the bridge.
The bridge deal.
and doing that first ride because we were like, dude, this is awesome, we gotta go, and then being miserable.
RIP your thighs.
Dude,
They're just gonna just rub them
Jeez.
raw right where you're walking around on hot asphalt
and
for
trying to make hoops.
Yeah.
I mean, jeez.
Yeah.
It's like we gotta go watch the country review or something with air conditioning. Like
We did that too
Yeah.
in Country Town or whatever.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Yeah.
Critter Country is Disneyland.
Critter
We won't-
Pioneer.
We won't go
Town,
there.
I don't know. Yeah.
Pioneer
I think
Town.
they like purposely made those the shittiest rides too, so that people wouldn't
Yeah.
like sit in there because it's
Yeah.
like everybody knew the move. You're going for air conditioning,
Yeah.
and then they're like, we
They
don't
had
want
that-
people in
That
here
came
too
out with
long.
that indoor roller coaster that was like in the dark or something like that. Whenever I was
The
in
Runaway Train or whatever it is.
Yeah, or like it was something like it was because there's like Runaway Mine Train, then there was like Runaway. I don't know. I don't remember the
right.
name. They've changed the names of it.
I guarantee people are listening like, what the hell?
Oh no, this is the
No,
people
it's-
love Six Flags talk. I guarantee.
No, I mean for the ride. I know exactly what you're talking
Runaway
about.
Mountain.
Yep,
Runaway
yeah.
Runaway Mountain,
yeah.
but it was inside and it was dark and
Like a fake rock formation,
You're-
right? When you
yeah.
walked
And you're just
in.
like, yeah, get these poops.
yeah, just trying to get into that AC. Even waiting in line, I was like, I hope this line's an hour and a half. Like,
Dude, and Mr. Freeze had the AC going in too.
yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say Runaway Mountain too. That's a great ride to bring a little young lady, young man with you
Yep.
if you're into that sort of thing,
Yeah.
you know. And
Why?
In the dark.
Oh, the dark.
in the dark, and it's a
Yeah.
little scary, you know. Maybe you got to hold my hand, you know.
Yeah.
We're talking like 12, 13 years old,
Yeah.
but let's say
Snap the
You
pic, maybe.
yeah, you go on, you've been talking to a friend, and then maybe this could turn into more than that. You go on the school field trip, and just try to ride Runaway Mountain
Can
30
offer
times.
to put her hat on your belt loop so
Yeah.
she doesn't lose it.
Yeah.
That's always a
Carrier basketball?
Mhm.
gentlemanly thing to do.
Yeah, we're giving
All right,
away too many
all right,
secrets,
let's-
I think. But
Let's ask questions.
the what the hell are we talking about? Were you a skateboarder at all, or did
No,
you
I wasn't
hop
very good at
around
skateboarding.
BMX?
I just rode the bikes.
Okay.
With
Had
the
some friends that
pegs.
skateboarded, but I wasn't very good with my. Like I can't do snowboarding either. I think when my feet are attached to the same thing, it's just bad news.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
And you're working on an ankle injury.
Need
already, we
independent
mentioned
feet
that.
movement going on for me.
I was never really good at skateboarding either. I had like whatever the cheapest version of the BMX bike is. You
Yeah.
know, that's what I had, and I think that was it though. But we would skateboard and stuff.
Sweet.
But yeah, we're
Sweet,
we're
bro.
just talking about old memories, and so good times. You
Oh, man.
we had probably similar childhood. As we've talked about my childhood on this podcast more than
Yeah, I was going to
enough.
say, like, when you were like, oh, I was at private school or you were at public school and then went to private, I was like, revert to Grady Spencer episode for answers on that.
Oh yeah. A little.
So you were a
little
bad
more.
kid, turn around school and all, you know?
Hey, well, that's why I want to talk to Sam, because Sam, you went to private Christian school. We don't
Yeah.
have to say
Shout
where,
out.
but local school, and
We did play. My school played them. Did your school play them?
My private Christian school was so shitty. No offense, I probably shouldn't say
No,
that.
don't say
No, it was a
that.
great place. We used the athletic facilities of the school that you went to.
Oh yeah.
So we didn't even have our own athletic
Before the tornado?
facilities. Both, because
Oh.
we never had a football thing or.
Y'all didn't?
No, they spent all their money on. Well,
No.
yeah. Sorry. No, sorry. So anyway, but yeah. So what was that like? How did that in the mid cities growing up?
I went there. I went to public school all up until freshman year. My dad coached and taught at the school that I went to, so
Yeah.
I wound up going there. I wanted to play sports, and I probably wasn't going to be to play all the sports I wanted to play. Had I gone to it was Richland High School where I would have gone, but
Mm.
The Rebels.
I probably could have only made the baseball team, and I
Yeah.
wanted to play as many sports as I could.
yeah.
Not
That
for
is
any
what was
college
great about-
aspirations or anything.
yeah.
I just liked sports when I
Mhm.
was that age, and I knew I wasn't good enough to probably make the basketball team at Richland or anything like that. So
Yeah.
decided to go over there, and I'd known people that my dad had coached and taught there for decades at that
Yeah.
point. So he kind of built the baseball field at Fort Worth Christian and
Very
got that
cool.
program
Oh,
started.
sweet.
So
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I still hang. We have a very small class. Graduated of like I think it was like 70 people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Still hang out with quite a few of them. Real
Yeah.
close friends. I enjoyed it. You know, a lot of people hate it, and there was some stuff that was not quite as fun for me in high school. You know,
Yeah.
having to go to
Right.
chapel every day, and
Yeah.
and
Did y'all do daily?
yeah, every day.
Whoa.
Damn.
We
And
went
then
every Wednesday.
Yeah.
We had uniforms. The year I transferred there was the first year they had uniforms. And at first I was kind of bummed out about it, but then totally just makes your morning so much easier.
It
You're like, I'm
does.
going to wear one form of those khakis and one of these 3 shirts. So it's like, whichever one smelled good, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm going with this today. Like, so that was
Yeah.
much
Same.
easier.
We had we had uniforms too, and then you always made fun because like the thing you had to wear for chapel day, it was just a denim shirt
Yeah.
with the
But
logo.
you had like the logo, which is like what they wear at Verizon. Because we went the other day to upgrade your phone finally after years,
Yeah.
and I was like, "That's
Had
your,
an iPhone
your
8, I
chapel
think.
shirt." Your chapel shirt.
But it was like,
denim
how
button.
is this denim shirt better
Yeah.
than
Nicer
the
than
other
like,
shirts?
yeah, than any of the polos that we had to wear. They always made us wear red ones on like grandparents' day
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
like that. But it's weird, just like a bunch of like a school full of Marxists, like just like a sea of red, you know.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
I remember too always being like, it was like, tuck your shirt tail, and I was like,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that
not
was a-
gonna listen
Oh, I
to
would-
you.
I would
Constant
roll.
struggle, yeah.
I would roll. The
Yeah, you were
shirt,
probably real bad.
And then if they found out, it was $2 fine. Did
Yeah.
you guys get fined?
We didn't get fined. There was some sort of penalty, some sort of not that bad of a penalty
Right.
to remember where we weren't that concerned with
Mhm.
it.
But then they were like, "You can't get your transcripts
Yeah.
because you didn't pay $2."
And the girls would roll their skirts up,
Right.
you know, and then have to roll them back down so they're the appropriate length above the knee or whatever.
Mm.
What's the hands to Jesus, or if you like lifted your hands and your
Yep.
stomach showed, that was a thing I think
Yeah.
for young ladies.
We couldn't roll our like.
It's kind of messed up. They bring Jesus into that, if you ask me.
know. You think Jesus
What's he got
cares
to do
about
with this?
shirt tail
you know?
length? Yeah.
What's he got to do?
He might.
Yeah. What is it? What does Jesus feel about untucked or
We didn't
whatever?
roll our
Untuck it.
sleeves to like go play sports. So like that you like
Yeah.
roll your sleeves. They'd be like, you can't do that. 'cause
Well, see, now that
Jesus-
makes sense because if you're a 13, 14-year-old young man, and you see a shoulder,
Yeah.
open
knows?
shoulder.
going ham.
Yeah, that's just more. That makes sense.
Did y'all have ever a free dress day?
Yeah, like
once
a month.
And people
Yeah.
would act wild ass on that day. Like that's why they quit. Like I know why y'all made us wear uniforms. Like the day we were allowed to wear whatever clothes we want, people were just bonkers the
Getting
whole day.
sent home.
Just doing whatever they like. I can wear whatever pants
Yeah.
I want. I can probably get away with this too.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, free dress day. Somebody shows up in an adult diaper.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, that's not. That
Little
doesn't
did you
work.
know, at one point in your life, you could wear whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just like for right now, you have to wear this.
I know. It's yeah, that's interesting. We had the same. A big moment in my life was we would get in trouble. That seems ridiculous that parents allowed to be fined at your school.
Yeah, that's kind of
We
nuts.
got
Yeah.
fined for
'Cause my parents would be like,
tardies.
"What?"
I'm pretty sure
Fined? That's so crazy.
$5 gum fines, $2 t-shirts. I think
gum.
they're
They had gum ranked above tucked in shirt.
yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm pretty sure.
It seems a little.
I mean, I get it. If you
that's a
keep
weird
finding
scheduling
gum,
of offenses there. That's like, like
You keep finding gum under the tables, it really rubs you wrong. And then I
if
think
you
it
have
was
weed,
like
it's
tardy.
20 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, this doesn't.
it's a bad
doesn't make sense.
We'd still schedule one for them. Like just as bad as gum chewing.
Yeah, dude.
And tardies, I think, was one too. But yeah, no, we would get fined for everything.
I remember, because I had to do that after school, not like where you're in trouble. Well, I guess you're in trouble, but where, in hindsight, but like, my parents worked for a living. So like I would have to stay till like 5. And there was this teacher, Miss Markham, shout out Miss Markham. And she would make you write sentences. And it was just for like dumb stuff, and it's not even like school, So
Yeah.
you're like, why am I listening to this lady? And I still remember it was probably sophomore year, and I had like 5,000 sentences I was supposed to write or something.
That is
Jesus.
that is
And,
a punishment that always got me. I can't stand
Yeah.
writing sentences.
Yeah.
My dad used to make me do that.
Yeah. So you know my pain. And then too, are you familiar with Harry Potter?
Oh yeah.
So like, there's that one time where like the lady makes him write it,
Yeah.
and then it like hurts him or whatever. And I was like, God, this is exactly like this teacher.
Did
that
you
I
ever
had.
do like where they were like, okay, you got 500, and so you would do like like just do everything
As
in a
if that
line?
makes it go any
It
faster.
doesn't.
Still the same amount of work.
Dude,
It's
what
just-
nerds were we?
I hated writing sentences so bad.
We
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I remember it would be something like that, like I'm not gonna chew gum or whatever, and then too, which this is always weird, but then like Bible verses related to
We
like
had the
crime
paragraph.
that you did.
Like they
What
would
does that
make us
mean?
write like it was like actually it was Miss Johnson, but it was a
Miss
a
Johnson.
long paragraph of like that's
Typical
what you
Miss
have to do.
It's typical.
She'd be like paragraph 20 times, and you'd have to sit there and
Just
write.
a paragraph.
Well, like it's like she would hand you a paragraph that you would have to write.
But I remember, and I have a lot of respect for my father. I didn't always understand, growing up, but she was like, I'm gonna tell your parents you're gonna get in trouble, Miss Markham, because I was like, I'm not writing sentences anymore. I like whatever. I'm sorry, I had canes for lunch and burping.
Oh, jeez.
And so anyway, she was like, you got to write all these things. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. And then she came, and when my dad picked me up, walked out to the car, and like, it was clearly like a 10-minute conversation probably, and just like, whatever. And then when I got in the car to leave, he was like, yeah, you don't have to write those sentences. I'm just kind of like, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Such a bad kid.
What do you think the point of sentences was? Like, do you think if you like, is it repetition or there's just trying to bum you out? Because like if repetition, I don't think I ever learned my lesson by writing
No.
a sentence about it a bunch of times. I'd just probably be like,
guess-
man, I'm going to make sure not to do this in front of them ever again. Like,
if my
because we're talking about
If
it.
my shirt, if my shirt tails untucked to this day, I have like a flashback.
Yeah.
My hand starts
Sorry.
cramping, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta.
I still think about it like I'm like, if I question this blink, there's something, then like I shouldn't wear it. And
Yep.
that's what they always said. Like if you question before you leave, don't wear.
That was good, and then also the one of my favorite sayings was the save room for Jesus. If you and like
Did
a young
your
lady
school
were
ever
too
say that?
close, like
yeah,
at a
well, we
dance
didn't
or
have
something.
dances.
Yeah.
We
So
didn't
I
either,
was
but-
that was predominantly Church of Christ school. So
Yeah,
there's definitely no dancing going on. If we had any sort of dancing going on, it was like the parents had to sponsor a dance. Like they couldn't be school sponsored. So
Oh.
even on like our junior senior banquet, it's called not prom, it's called junior senior banquet.
We had
Same.
banquet too.
And you'd have
Oh, fun.
one
Bunch
year.
of nerds, man.
I believe we had it at the Petroleum Club my senior year, and this is how ridiculous it was. After the banquet was done,
Mhm.
we all had to walk out of the banquet hall to signify this is the end of the school sponsored portion of the night.
Okay.
and the parents that through the dance force every year had rented the same banquet hall, so we had to walk back in now, signifying that this is the parent sponsored portion of it, and the school was washing their hands of any sort of sinful dancing going on after that. And I just remember being like, "What a weird hoop to jump through!"
Just like to prove that it's different.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
weird.
so strange.
That's cool. Y'all's parents did that though.
Yeah, it was
We
great. I
didn't do
mean,
that.
most of the parents were like understood that rule is probably a little
Yeah,
heinous and outdated, but
for sure.
they would make sure we had some sort of fun afterwards. Although no one knew how to dance because they hadn't been in 4 years, so
It's like super awkward.
pretty bad dancing going on at the Church of Christ after banquet dance soiree.
We didn't have dances either. It wasn't fun.
And the parents hired strippers too, which was a weird twist.
Yeah, that was the craziest part. Candy being there for the whole time was just kind of awkward. She had to buy a prom dress for the banquet.
so odd. Yeah, we had I was a banquet king actually, which I think there was one other senior in my class that went to the banquet, so that's kind of
What all sort of duties does that entail? Do you get to like
nothing really, because I guess it was pretty close to the end of school,
Heavy as the head.
and then
Tell
you
us-
get like
tell
a
us your rules.
you get a crown from like Party City
banquet king? You get
know?
like a big turkey leg and like a chalice to drink out of.
It's like
Just
medieval times.
remember- yeah, I just remember. What do I remember?
Nothing.
I don't remember a lot.
You just got it and then you took a photo and that was it.
Well, Stephanie was like the girl queen, I guess,
Yeah.
banquet queen.
Did you hand down any sort of edicts as banquet king? Did you make the life of the feudal servants better?
Yeah, we went straight Marxist after that. Yeah, after the school, as soon
Flipped
as I was like, we're not listening to your rules anymore. We didn't even wear shirts after that. Actually, I just said
No shirts.
enough of this tucked in BS. I'm the
Chewing
king.
gum, not wearing shirts.
Yeah, I'm the king now. No, there was nothing of note at all. I don't think. I
Purely-
think it was a completely waste of
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
Remember.
but there's
Purely
a lot of-
ceremonial title.
and there's a lot of weird. This is a stupid topic we're talking about, but there's a lot of weird stuff like that when you're a child that like gives. You know, it's almost like, was there other people that were like, damn, I really wanted to be banquet?
Yeah, there was.
Really shooting for banquet king this year.
Yeah,
For
'cause
sure.
It was just so stupid.
At least
but
on the chick side. I don't know about dudes.
I graduated with 18 people from
Wow.
high school, and yours was
32.
Close. Oh, it wasn't even the same
Mhm.
as. So anyway, I always thought that was funny because it's. I think I have a lot of. I feel like kindred spirits a lot of times with people
Yeah.
who grew up with that, and I did. I went to public school and then I went back to private school, so I kind of have a mix of it.
If you have children, what would you do?
Oh, good question.
I always like
Public school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
same, I think.
I'd like to support the public school systems.
Hmm.
Not that I hated going to Fourth Christian or anything
Yeah.
like that, but and like mine was, like I said, strictly a sports decision. But
Yeah.
I also think it was good that I went to public school for as long as I did, just to
Yeah.
not be completely sheltered. So
There's a little
Yeah.
normalcy.
yeah,
There's a little more diversity, let's be honest. And nothing against the schools that we went to, but I think that always kind of helps you. But yeah, there's no way I would have played sports in.
Yeah, I was a
Yeah.
cheerleader.
I went to Heights. I would have gone to Heights, longer. And yeah, you were a national champion cheerleader.
We all have private school, but it's like you said, you're Church of Christ. I was
Yeah.
Baptist. You're whatever.
I mean, God knows.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Who knows? I think they've changed ideology since then, but yeah, there was a little bit of everything, whatever you want to believe. But it was a great place. I'm very thankful for it. Yeah. So anyway, we're all over the place, but so I did want to talk about, and this has nothing to do with like you or your career, but we got into a Twitter talk the other day because there was a guy that it was a missed field goal of sorts. And like I said, we said, Sam is a sportsman. And so we were talking on Twitter about it, and I didn't realize you really analyzed kind of the issues that were wrong with the whole snap and the hold and all this. And then it
didn't have that ball upright.
turns out you were, or I don't know if currently are, but at one point were a field goal
I was
placeholder.
The field goal placeholder on my
Okay.
football team. I also started at receiver as well, so let's
Nice.
not diminish
Yeah.
my responsibilities here. But
course.
as
You're helping the team out.
I
really.
like to think
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
because I had the best hands on the team that they
yeah.
put me there.
Awesome.
But yeah, that was the field goal holder. You don't realize that when people try and block kicks, they're aiming for you. So I was like, oh, this sounds fun. You just get down on one knee, hold a ball, make sure you don't get your hand kicked.
Yeah.
Like, but then you realize everyone's kind of aiming for you, and that's not the most exciting thing.
And you're also just innocently sitting there, basically holding it unprotected, and so people can just destroy you.
just completely unprotected, just waiting to get destroyed by somebody, because they always tell them, don't hit the kicker.
Yeah.
Aim for that dude holding the ball. And you're like, oh, man, now I'm gonna be that dude holding the ball.
Yeah, take out his knees, but the kicker, let's be careful. Yeah, there was a guy, and I wanted to say. I thought this was interesting, but we were watching the Stanford game for a minute. He had missed 4 field goals, but there was one this weekend. There's one specifically where Holder catches it, boom, laces right into him, and then he just shanks it.
Yep.
And his name is Jet Toner, which I also thought was a ridiculous name for a human
That sounds like
being.
something you buy for your printers.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know what the deal with Jet Toner is, but anyway, what is the perfect snap and hold? How does that flow?
Gotta have it straight up.
Yeah.
First off, give them a good target, both hands.
Do you do it? Would you do a nod or would you do a hand?
I would put
motion?
one hand up, and when the second hand came up, it was feel free to fire.
Okay.
So, and then straight up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Our personal kicker liked it tilted back towards him just a smidge.
Okay.
He's a little bit of a line drive guy, so it needed a little bit of an angle, but it's pretty. I mean, I thought it was a relatively easy job. If the guy snapping it's any good, that's not really, you're not doing much.
Right.
So, our kicker didn't miss a field goal or a PAT all year.
Wow.
So I mean, I'd like to think it had something to do with that right there. Like,
Clearly.
that ball's not holding itself up.
That's what I was going to ask too. So that's great to hear. And then Paul, will you fact check that for us? Just so we have that. I just
Pulling
wanna
up
make sure.
pulling up Fourth Christian 2003 football stats.
I did. What's the guy? Oh my God. Tepper, Greg Tepper.
Yeah.
I think we probably follow him on Twitter, but he's the Dave Campbell High School. I did their podcast and it was really good.
Yeah.
But that was, I think, I want to say I was second string all district.
Oh, nice.
Tight end, no big deal. For like TAPS 2A or whatever we were. There's like literally 3 tight ends in the whole league. And I guess that guy's
Got to give it to somebody here.
But then when he went to look it up, it was inconclusive. I guess they don't have that year. Senior year.
They don't keep that logged.
Apparently.
What?
So I'm going to go ahead and say it's
Definite.
still accurate. So anyway, we're getting way off the rails. I wanted to talk about music a little bit. I mean, the biggest thing right now, do you have any shows booked or where are you guys kind of at?
Not really. We had a couple tours canceled this year. We're supposed to be in Europe right now.
Damn.
That's the time of year we've been going over there past few years, usually end of October into November for about 6 weeks or so. So that's kind of a bummer. We weren't even allowed to apply to go over there this year when we normally had to. Had an Australian thing kind of fall through for a couple weeks, which I was really excited about because I've never been to Australia.
Yeah.
I always see all my friends and bands that go over there get to hold those cute koalas, and I was really kind of bummed about that.
Dude.
It looks awesome.
It looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like seeing my friend Andrew Skates hold a koala bear is absolutely hysterical to me. So,
Dude.
but so we had that canceled, but we were planning around this time of year anyway to be recording.
Yeah.
This is kind of December is notoriously kind of a dead time for touring.
Yeah.
Between Thanksgiving and Christmas, just everyone wants to be home and around the family. So it's nice we're going to be able to get to do a little bit of recording. So it's not a complete, wash. And then probably, look at doing shows again beginning of next year, something like that, maybe into the springtime. Just with all of it, at the diminished capacity and especially indoor shows and stuff like that. I none of us are epidemiologists, but it just, I don't want to say a bad look, but just being scared that you might have brought 250 people together that had COVID.
Right.
And, that's terrifying. And I don't want that to happen just because we're anxious to get back and play a show, because we definitely are very anxious to get back. And live is kind of, at least for our band, that's our bread and butter. That's our favorite thing to do. So this has been pretty difficult. I understand a lot of people have it a lot worse. So we were at a good position where we could take some time off and focus on recording. So
That's awesome.
Are the venues saying like they're saying spring, or are they giving
we've had some offers for December and stuff like that inside, and just looking at it, I think that might be a little rushed for us.
Right.
Even at capacity. Outdoors seems about as safe, the safest way you could do it right now. As far as I've seen shows on patios and stuff like that where everything's distance, and that seems like that's relatively safe. As safe as you can be during a pandemic or whatever. But just kind of trying to play it by ear, see which one pops up that looks like might be doable and able to keep everybody safe.
And I think too, that's such a great point that you bring up that probably a lot of people don't think about, but something that in our industry with restaurants and a lot of bars, we have a lot of friends that have restaurants, bars, everything.
Sorry.
I'm trying to make a point.
Digging real serious.
Sorry. But no, like what Sam said, like I know we deal with it, and then that's awesome to hear that you deal with, but you feel a personal responsibility to some point of even things are terrible and we know they're terrible, but like, I'm with you 100% on that. Cause too, like even with the Dallas opening, we opened, the new restaurant in Dallas, it's been awesome, but like, and it's not, I don't think it's intentional, but just people just like live their life. And so a lot of times we'll have to ask to spread out the thing, the line. And then we've even had, to make the line go outside and stuff. And it's awesome to even have a line. So I don't want to be like, I'm bitching about that. But, I think people are just so ready for it to be normal again, but yet there's still, nobody knows, in my opinion.
There's still question marks. Yeah.
And so you're like that. You're like, well, we could do an outdoor show. Well, what if, 1,000 people show up?
Yeah.
Or whatever? And then it's like, do I want to do a show where everybody's standing in a hula hoop or whatever?
Yeah, right.
That does seem interesting.
So that's crazy. Yeah. But that's awesome that you guys are in the studio and stuff too and doing that. I mean, you just kind of got to make it what you can, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. At this point. How
can people support you guys directly? Like merch
we've got,
and stuff?
Yeah, merch and buying music is from the website is kind of the best way to get us money directly. I can send y'all my Venmo or whatever if y'all want to do that. No, Cash App or whatever,
send that personal address too. Yeah.
No, from the website. And Morgan Mercantile from right here in Fort Worth, our buddy Chance and Kayla Morgan, they do all of the merch for us, and they run our website, and they're really good at getting stuff out.
Yeah, cool.
So they've been great.
Morgan Mercantile joint right here.
They make good stuff. They make good stuff.
I don't have any on, but I support him.
Yeah.
And then I took down it's Genius, but GENI.US/QCNH, and then that has like a link to everything.
To all of them, yeah.
So that has a link to online store to where you can buy the music, Quaker City Nighthawks, all their stuff. But yeah, especially it's so weird. And I know and two, I mean, there's so much, that's what we were talking with Grady about. Like, how do you make money now? Like so much of being a musician is in live music and those type of things. And the idea that would just be taken away has been devastating to everybody, to a lot of industries. But
it's definitely, live stuff was definitely over half of our income, you know, like that's you keep playing and keep making money, royalties and stuff like that do accrue and come in, but it's not, at the same rate as when you're playing, shows in front of 1,500 people.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a huge hit. I mean, David and I have been very lucky to have certain songs placed in movies and television series and stuff like that.
And that's been big. Yeah.
That's
we got
awesome.
that was old Cash Roy got us
nice
Queso Blanco in the Coors Light commercial. But those have helped tremendously. I don't, to be honest with you, if we didn't have a lot of that stuff coming in, it would have been a lot more dire. But I understand we're real lucky to have that. So try not to take that for granted.
No, that's crazy. And too. So to that point, Queso Blanco, I hate the term foodie, but you're kind, you're a foodie.
Yeah, used to it was just called chubby, but foodie works now.
So we've chatted multiple times about different food and stuff. Did you have anything else on that?
No,
Okay.
let's talk about food. I'm hungry.
One question I did have down that I ask a lot of people, but pizza rolls or bagel bites?
Pizza rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
That's a trick question, and he answered it perfectly.
Yeah. See, Lauren, my girlfriend Lauren would disagree.
Bagel
She
bites,
likes the
right?
bagel
Yeah.
bites.
Well,
And she
I
likes them
think
in the
they're
microwave,
cute.
not the oven.
Okay, so a little
A
softer.
little
Yeah.
softer.
She said they get a little too crisp. There's not enough cheese on the bagel bite for me.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be some extra
You could add cheese.
attention paid to the bagel bite. But then,
Add your
but then
own
you're working
cheese.
you're working with some frozen cheese
Yeah.
versus some non-frozen
Yeah,
cheese,
and you're
you get
usually drunk.
different textures. Yeah.
Yeah. And that probably legally can't be described as cheese, right? Well, let's be honest.
No,
Yeah,
that's
it's
cheese
some
product.
Sort of chemical.
product.
cheese product.
I love when they say product.
That's like Yoo-hoo being chocolate drink,
Yeah.
not chocolate milk.
To Lauren's credit, though, I do agree with her because sometimes the bagel bites, if you go a little long on
Yeah.
them, they can
Even
it's
30
like,
seconds
it'll
long, you
break
ruin
your
it. Yeah.
teeth. Yeah. Just rock hard.
I'm an oven bagel biter.
You just got to watch them. You got to be real
Yeah.
careful.
It's
Like,
the bottom.
mhm.
Yeah.
Do you are you bagel bites or pizza rolls?
I don't know. You
Just the fact that you took this long to answer is not good. This is not good.
I like bagel bites, but I can get down on some pizza rolls.
That sounds like somebody likes bagel bites.
They're cute. They're
I mean,
adorable. Little bagels.
I mean, the pizza rolls look like tiny pillows, though.
Yeah.
yeah, they do.
Filled
with
with
pizza.
lava.
And those are easily dipped into ranch.
Yeah, you gotta go ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had,
Okay.
speaking
I gotta go to the
of
grocery.
Cash Sharoy, and I hope he listens to this, he was on the radio the other day talking trash about ranch dressing.
Oh,
And I,
he's
for
from Florida,
one,
though.
I tried to call in
Yeah.
just to be
Did
like,
you?
what? No, not really.
Oh.
But they had a great segment on, I forget what the Sharoy brothers, their show
Cirque du Soleil.
on Saturday.
That's funny.
And
That's good.
it's good. He's a good marketer.
Oh man,
He's a
those
smart
are
guy.
two pretty funny brothers right there.
They Mike came to our friends and family event in
Yeah.
Dallas, which was really cool. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but they said, and we don't have to do this, but they said, Power Rank essentially the countries buy sauces.
Ah,
And I thought that was
That's a
very
fun one.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I immediately think, and I want to get your opinion, France, Spain, probably, just
Yeah.
because mother sauces, all the,
yeah,
whatever.
bechamels and all those come
Yeah.
from.
Oh la la. But they talked America, like all that stuff. But then it went into Cash just denigrating ranch for like 10 minutes of how terrible ranch dressing is and people that eat it and all this stuff. And I was very offended by it.
There's certain ranches that I can't do,
Yeah.
like a tier 3 or 4 ranch where
Yeah.
you're just like, dude, this is not good.
Yeah, like a Luby's ranch or something.
Yeah, but like in anything, especially when you hit those restaurants that make them.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, that is
Yeah.
fantastic.
You
Where
know
they're
who's got a bomb ranch is Doc B's in
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
wherever it is, Clear Fork.
Clear Fork.
It's a garlic ranch.
Ooh,
and
okay.
it's like they grill the garlic and then make the
Some
ranch.
kind of roasted garlic.
yeah,
and it's,
something.
I think they don't even call it ranch,
But
but
they're
it's
like,
kind of
this
like
is
that.
our ranch. And I'm like, this is the best.
I worked at Parati's for a while. And we made our own ranch.
Was it good? Do you like
I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it thoroughly.
I like
It was
it.
like actual buttermilk ranch. You
Yeah.
gotta make the big bucket of it every day.
Yeah, I love ranch.
We make ours for wing night when we do that, so I'm
Yeah.
very particular about that. I will say,
I like it on the thicker side.
yeah, I'm sure
Needs to be gloppy.
Yep.
a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to just runny. If what am I trying to say? Oh, it's probably like from a can or whatever bottle, but Buffalo Bros, they're like Chipotle ranch.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I think they add a little bit of the buffalo sauce to it.
It's good.
Oh,
And
It's good.
I'm so hungry.
yeah, I've done a lot of damage at Buffalo Brothers in my
Oh,
life. I believe
yeah.
my name's on the wall in there somewhere for something.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was.
For
but
spraining an ankle.
I don't think this was injury related, but it could have been that night. I don't know. Like,
Writing hot checks, maybe.
yeah.
You like the
Molson's
OG
and,
or the downtown?
We also see. I used to go to the OG one on University because I lived right over by TCU's football stadium for a while when I was playing at the Moon Bar and I was working at Parati's.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
And David Matzler, our guitar player, he was working at Buffalo Brothers for a little bit because we used to go up there on Wednesdays
Mhm.
Yeah,
and get
of
the
course.
10 wings for $5
Yeah.
and like what was it, $3 schooners of Shiner.
It's a great deal.
Great deal.
Dude, you just stay up there for a couple hours,
Yeah.
see how much damage we could do. Usually pretty sizable amount. So
Write
Yeah.
your name on the wall.
Yeah.
We used to have a rent house on Stadium right over there,
Yeah.
and we would frequent that
I
spot.
might
quite
go
a
there
bit.
today.
place is great.
Wingstop, good ranch too. I feel like
Yeah?
theirs. I like
Yeah.
their blue cheese.
Wingstop's got a good ranch. You know, pro tip on ordering Wingstop, you can get the fries lemon pepper.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm getting wings.
Gotta get the lemon pepper fries too.
Can't
Delicious.
handle it.
This was a little sidetrack because one of the biggest reasons that I asked Sam to be here was for a new segment that is going to be called Nacho Talk.
Yeah,
And we're going to talk nachos. And I don't want to get
Nice.
sidetracked, but literally, I was doing a little bit of research today, looking at different nacho varieties, local places, national places, and all day I've been thinking about nachos.
But you had
so-
Cane's.
Well, I did. I had to. That was
Sponsor
like
us
I had to. That was
out of necessity.
desperation more than anything on the way home. But anyway, yeah. So you and I did want to say November 6th was National Nacho Day.
National Nacho
Didn't even
Day.
realize
It's a
that.
big day.
So Sam, if you follow him on Twitter, your Twitter, do you mind if I say?
Sure.
You don't care. The @thick_Trinity on Twitter, and to be clear too, Quaker City Nighthawks is @QCNH on Twitter. So give both of those a follow. Gonna have more nacho related posts on your personal page.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But Sam's a big nacho guy, really, in a nacho scholar, I would say.
Just fan of the nacho industry in general.
And so I want to talk all things nacho, specifically your personal opinions, local places, everything. But I guess let's start with Sam Anderson, nacho expert. Will you describe the perfect nacho in your opinion?
Okay.
One bite.
The perfect nacho in Sam's opinion.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
for me, I'm an individually dressed chip guy.
Mhm.
I don't hate the mound. I'm just saying if I'm going for my perfect, I like it where there's 12 nachos or however many on a plate, each individually dressed. I like the refried bean base layer, a
Okay.
little cement to hold everything on there.
That
And
was a-
before we
that was a
fast forward,
question.
a lot of people are going to have issues with this because a lot of people are mound. I just want
Yeah.
it all on a pie.
But I understand.
I
this.
miss there's some naked nachos at the bottom,
Yeah.
and
Get those out.
you're just
Get them
getting
out.
chips.
a naked nacho is just a
Just getting
chip.
greasy chips.
Just
So-
a chip.
Not to interrupt, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So I like the refried bean layer.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese after that, then whatever sort of protein you're looking for.
Yeah.
I like chicken, but the fajita or the combo works great.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's just what I'm in the mood for. That's what changes the most.
Mhm.
You can either get the tinga nachos, which are delicious,
Mhm.
but whatever protein I'm going for after that. And then I'm a big fan of one jalapeno on each chip,
Ooh.
pickled though,
Pickle.
Yeah.
Same. Pickle.
and then sour cream and guac as you see fit.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
hot plate needs to be on a hot plate for me.
Okay.
For the individual chips, like
Mhm.
the mound doesn't matter so much, but the hot plate feels feels fancy.
Do you make that, or is there a place in town that you recommend?
I will make them at the house, but I'm a really big fan of the original
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Camp Bowie. Their nachos are pretty spot on. I just had Los Molcajetes,
Mhm.
which I haven't had before. I think there's one on Western Center and another
Mhm.
one off South Freeway, but they were very delicious as well.
Mm.
They did the individual
Mhm.
chips. So is Los Asaderos on
Oh,
the north
yeah.
side,
I was
on
gonna
North
say.
Main.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorites for all kinds of
Mhm.
Mexican
Yeah.
cuisine. But
Place
their
is
nachos are pretty.
good.
I think their menu says how many nachos. It's like
Oh,
13 nachos, like on a plate. I'm like,
And I
I like
respect
when you
that.
tell me how many's coming.
like-
Like,
Mhm.
no surprises.
Yeah.
I love that. I have a lot of questions. Cheese, you mentioned cheese. Shredded, melted, liquid, in a queso variety or
See, okay.
preference?
I break them up into two different kinds. Like the shredded melted is like your traditional nacho,
Mm-hmm.
invented in the Rio Grande Valley by Ignacio.
Mhm.
But
I told you. he
I
was a
don't
scholar.
hate the liquid cheese. I don't hate stadium nachos.
Yeah.
Like stadium nachos
Yeah.
are perfectly fine. I kind of like when the chip gets floppy towards the end. It's just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah,
mush, and you're just
yeah.
like, whatever. I'm just using this to get
Right.
jalapenos and cheese into my body.
Yeah.
Into my gullet. Yeah.
Oh yeah. My dad being a coach, he's a basketball coach as well, and sometimes I would have to work the concession stand
Mhm.
up at the high school, and that we had that nacho cheese that you make out of powder. You know, like you just add water or whatever, and so I mean, not great stuff, but
Right.
you know, when you're a kid, you love it. We spilled a whole glop of it on the floor. We were kind of in a rush, like we're sort of in the weeds. You know, hot dog
Concession
things taking too long. You know, like we're blowing through, you know, Skittles, and
Yeah.
didn't really get to clean it up until the rush kind of ended
Yeah.
about an hour later, and I go to wipe it up and the floor was spotless where I dropped that nacho cheese. It was like a cleaning agent where it was just like the rest of the floor is kind of grimy, and then that spot right there was just clear as a bell. I was like, oh my goodness, I've been pouring this in
What
my
is
body over
this?
and over again.
That's like like you inject that in your veins. It's
Yeah.
probably like a COVID
Just
vaccine.
clean
you
up-
know?
clean the chrome on a
have we
bumper
tried
of it,
that for COVID?
You know, the light, shining the light inside of you didn't work. You
Yeah,
know, the bleach didn't work, but this powdered nacho cheese activated by water.
Oh man.
I had a theory in an earlier podcast that if you eat food off the roller grill at a gas station, that's probably there's something in that probably
Like you're
can help
immune.
against.
Yeah,
COVID.
that definitely heightens your immune system.
It's worth a shot. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So
Wait, did you say sour cream?
Sour cream and guacamole.
Oh, no pico or
I don't mind the pico, but I'm not gonna put it on each nacho.
Yeah.
You know, like if I grab a little bit of onion when I'm hitting the flying by the sour cream, you know,
Right.
like scoop up some of the pico.
Do you ever go to what's that place? La Playa Maya?
Yeah,
Dude, that place is
Yeah.
so
Underrated.
underrated.
it's a great spot.
Underrated. We go there a lot. I'm like,
I like
Yeah.
Lapine.
I used
I
to
don't
live
even
right by the
care.
one on Hemp Hill for a while.
Yeah.
and
Somebody
that's
just got
a
robbed there.
really good happy hour. If you're
Yeah.
looking for a
Yeah,
happy hour,
dude.
that's a solid happy hour.
and like, you know, nobody knows you, just in there having a few cool ones. Nachos.
I not to get sidetracked because this is nacho talk. They do a fajita enchilada there, where it's the
Dude,
enchiladas with fajita meat.
gotta go there.
pico.
That sounds great.
It's good, and it's like $11.
Yeah, that place is priced very accurately.
It
It's
is, and it's
delicious.
so good.
Yeah, so to more questions because I really want to just go through this with Sam since we have expert here. You didn't mention veggies. So how are you on maybe like iceberg lettuce, maybe chopped tomatoes?
I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind the pico.
Yeah.
But
I thought you meant like a bell pepper.
Oh, that too. I mean, let's talk shop.
you know, I'm not trying to mess with any bell peppers on my nachos.
Yeah.
Just the pickled
Get 'em out.
jalapeno. Like, and to be honest with you, shredded lettuce is kind of, I feel like a space saver.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of just to fill up spots, you know. So I don't need shredded lettuce. I don't mind if the little bit gets on there. I don't mind it, you know, in tacos and stuff like that. But I kind of like to keep the nachos pretty simple.
Pure
Like, yeah.
nachos. Mm-hmm.
I'm with you 100%. And then I got a little flack for this on Twitter the other day. I wrote that if someone who puts olives on nachos deserves a 5 to 10 year prison sentence.
Black olive.
And honestly, to be honest, and I was a little bit like, should I walk that statement back? 5 to 10 years seems like a lot. Olives on nachos. I want to increase that to 25 years in prison.
Okay.
I think I've thought about it long and hard, and I think that's terrible.
We grew up putting them. Okay, my mother
Where are
is
you
from
from?
California,
Okay, there we go.
LA. We grew up with like taco night black olives,
Yeah.
like right on top of the sour cream.
See, now
Crema.
I don't mind black olives when I'm at Taco Casa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they'll
There's
throw them
this
in there. Like,
place.
I don't think I'd put them on my nachos. 25 years does seem like a lot. It's a nonviolent offense. Maybe they just need treatment. Maybe just send them to like a olive rehab or something.
I'm willing to for some type of parole agreement.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe some
10 years
pretrial
down the
diversion
road,
here,
Yeah.
or like a.
Yeah, it depends.
It's a weird thing to die on a hill for, but okay.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's why I started this podcast. And then I saw a little bit of controversy the other days. You mentioned radishes on nachos.
Yeah, no, get that out of here. No,
Oh, like
I,
the little shaved.
yeah, I got no time for that.
No, those are just for prettiness.
What is the purpose of a radish anyway?
I don't know because
I don't mind it in like salad or something like that. Like you know, something that radish is supposed to go in, but get
Yeah.
it the hell off my nacho.
They always do
Yeah.
that with the tweezers on like
Yeah.
certain foods.
Looks great.
It's beautiful, but yeah, not necessary.
And tacos. I mean, it's in Mexican cuisine. I think a little.
I think
bit,
a lot of
but-
like seafood tacos and stuff have.
Yeah.
But just a raw radish
just-
sliced
You gotta
on
pickle it
a-
or something.
yeah.
Like,
It's like you might as well put like a wood chip, like
Yeah.
a wood shaving. You know, it's like, what is the purpose of this? It's disgusting. Well, I'm glad we agree on that.
yeah, no radishes.
Are there any other non-negotiables for you with nachos?
Nah, I mean, really just that, like, I'm not gonna eat a piled stack of nachos.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna enjoy it as much.
Mhm.
It just doesn't work for me, you know? Like
Yeah.
there's too much maneuvering on my part.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have to dress each chip as I'm
Mhm.
going, be like, oh, let me dip over here and get some more of this
Yeah.
stuff, or maybe there's more cheese on this side, or like, no. I just want every single one of them on a flat plate.
Yeah.
Like
Throw
each
me
one's
an
a perfect
apron, yeah.
nacho. Like,
Is it
yeah.
a square chip or like a scoop? Like those
I like the flat chips.
Yeah.
a square?
I do not have a
Yeah.
preference on size. You know,
Mhm.
like the standard ones are great, but then, you know, like the original does, like, where it's almost like a half tortilla
Yeah.
Right.
type thing. And really enjoy those too. A lot of coverage on that. Like still keep it crisp. So
Oh man, I've
I-
been a triangle.
the original is great. Their margaritas are great too. They've
Oh
got
my
a
God,
nice
are
little
they?
patio.
Gasoline margs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude,
shout
those
out I told you I had canes. The Tea Garden margarita.
Ugh.
This was something that was
Can't.
brought up by a friend of my friend Dan's. We played golf.
Doesn't believe in dinosaurs.
Dan doesn't believe in dinosaurs, which is something we need to go in depth with at some point on the podcast.
How do you think his car works?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Liquid
let's-
dino bones.
Let's get into it, but
Running out of all.
not to talk about Dan and his issues, but we did play golf. I'm a golf guy, and we played for lunch, basically, or dinner,
Nice.
or whatever. And so this gentleman that we played with, his parents, I guess, have been going there like 40 years. So they have some margarita named after them that they order, and it's not on the menu. It's called the Tea Garden, I believe is
think
their
so,
last
yeah.
name. And it is
No relation to Taylor Teagarden.
No, the baseball player.
Yeah.
That's a great reference. Taylor Teagarden, University of Texas
Yeah, I believe so.
of fame, and then also other stuff. It's gasoline in a cup.
Oh yeah.
It's undrinkable.
Love it.
It's just
What's
pure
the
alcohol.
breakdown? Is it just like
I don't
just
even
way
know.
more tequila than normal, or
To
is
be
it
honest with you, I don't think they know.
Yeah.
I think it's just
Tequila.
mixing every type of tequila they have into a cup, and then it's like getting kicked in the chest when
Yeah.
you drink it. But
See, one margarita for me
delicious.
is sleepy time.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
After the second one, it's party time.
Lights out. Yeah.
So it's like
Same.
let's do this after the
Mhm.
second one. After one, I need to go home and take a nap.
Yeah, we
Tequila.
had this incident. In fact, the name of our text group is Tortilla Face because there's a gentleman who ate the eyes and mouth out of a tortilla and then wore it on his face.
Classic
After,
bit. That's a good
it's
restaurant bit.
It's
Yeah.
a good bit, and also you can do that there. Though.
Not as gross as doing it with your slice of bologna,
Yeah,
because then you have
Chill.
cold cuts on
Bologna
your face,
face.
and that's
Bologna.
This was also pre-COVID. I want to be clear, pre-COVID. So making tortilla faces wasn't frowned upon back then.
You can still do it now. Just only the eye holes. No nose.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
and
Actually,
actually,
that's smart.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's Shark Tank.
Okay.
We're a
Yeah.
big Shark Tank.
Shark
Tortilla
Tank.
mask.
Figure this
You're
out,
done
yeah.
with when you're done being in public with your mask, you can just
Yeah.
eat it.
Yeah.
eat
A
it.
little sour cream, a little salsa. Well, I feel like we've gone pretty thorough over this. I think too one point I wanted to add was, and I don't know how you feel about this, but one thing I like about the original, I don't know if you can ask, but like almost hit me with a well done.
Yeah.
Where the cheese is like
They-
almost like stuck.
The
to
ones I
hot
got the other
plate.
day, I'll tweet out a picture of it. But
Yeah.
the edges were a little bit browned.
Yeah.
And I love it. You love it,
Mm,
especially when the cheese gets a little crispy on
Yeah.
those edges.
dude.
To me,
Nice
that's
texture.
perfect. There's a place off of, well, I won't say where it is, but it's changed ownership a few times, and a lot of people like it for their nachos, and I think it's trash. And it's basically just a giant pile
Oh,
with the shredded lettuce, with the
chicken.
queso asadero or whatever. I'm sorry, the where it's like that on nachos, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
And then someone just lazily throws sour cream. Like
I need
from
care.
6 feet
I
above.
need care and attention.
Yeah,
on my nacho.
So I'm glad I'm on the same page with you. I like the individually dressed. I think that's great. One thing that I've been doing, and I think you saw this one time when we were making it at the house. I love. We have a Michoacana right by our house in River Oaks, and they do a salsa aguacate.
Yeah,
Is that right? Yeah, where it's the avocado salsa, and it's a little spicy. I think there's some serrano in there, and so I was going to ask this: if you do salsa on, or do you do it individually? But I'll go a little bit of green salsa and then a little bit of red salsa just on top.
Yeah,
so it's just kind of already there.
If I'm at the house, I'm usually got whichever sauce I'm into at the moment. Maybe hitting each chip with it. At the restaurant, I'll usually grab the salsa and have it like pick up the chip, maybe get a little sour cream on there, and then hit it with the salsa after that. But I like verde with chicken, and I like the red with the beef.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's any science to that, but that's just what my brain tells me to do. So
I mean, it sounds right to me.
Yeah.
The only wild card. Well, I have two wild cards. I had an al pastor nacho one time that was incredible.
Yeah.
And that's not something you would normally have on a nacho. I don't think.
I'm not opposed to trying any protein on top of the chip. Let's give it a whirl.
Yeah. And then the original was open, I think, 1935.
Yeah.
The same as Joe T's.
Yep.
Two of our favorite places. And so Joe T's, they get those big ass tostada chips that you can get.
Cheese
Also, another fun fact about Joe T's, you can order the bar nachos.
Yeah.
And it's like the individually dressed. It's not like the big ones that come out before your meal, which are excellent, by the way.
Yeah.
With the diced pickled jalapenos on there. That's incredible. But you can get those bar nachos if you go sit inside, and they are delicious.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Both places too have great margaritas, everything. They have a Joe's Nachos, which has like the fajitas, does have some bell peppers and stuff. Which
but
I'm
you
like,
can ask for that to be removed.
But then and what a lot of our friends do, which I don't even know unless you I guess are annoying and they'll make it for you, but you can do the shredded chicken from the flautas. They'll make on some bean
Chicken
nachos.
Like a
nacho.
chicken tinga taco nacho or whatever. Yeah, that sounds great.
And they're delicious. And usually when we go to Joe T's with friends, have some margarita, we haven't done this in a long time, I'll eat about a half of a nacho and then drink 6 margaritas. Yeah. So that's usually...
It's too much nacho at that point.
And then just curse yourself for having heartburn all day. And you're like, I don't know why I have heartburn. He's like, well, you ate 2 tablespoons of pickled jalapenos and 6 margaritas. Like, that'll probably do it.
Dude, yeah. I'm always like, did you bring your heartburn meds?
Yeah.
I do get heartburn, pretty bad.
We'll have to take it before.
Just drop a Tums in that margarita.
Yeah.
Let it dissolve.
Even the playing field.
We'll have a dozen people, because we used to work there, so we have a lot of friends, and we still love going up there, and so it'll be like 12, 14 people. The tab's like $600, and like one person ordered food. You know what I mean? It's just
Oh, I miss those days.
I know. We'll bring it back. Well, we may. Yeah. Anyway, that's another story. But yeah, awesome. I love that. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, that's pretty good. I think that's great nacho talk. I had a couple questions briefly. We're already in an hour, and so I appreciate you coming. We'll try to wrap it up. But one of our good friends, Jake Kemp, not Jack Kemp, on Twitter. We've been buddies for a while, and then that's actually, I think, one of the first times I met you was at his house.
I think so.
Friendsgiving, I think.
Great time. And so Jake has a lot of HSOs, hot sports opinions, as they would say on the ticket. Kemp Spin. Now that he's tier 1, officially tier 1 broadcaster.
It's always been tier 1 in my book.
Aww.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too. And so Soroy, I think too. Yeah. I'll throw old Mikey in there. I think he's ready. He's waiting for Norm to die, but that's how it goes in their business. But there's a couple specific things that I wanted to bring up because Jake's got some hot opinions, and how do you relate on this? And not that I'm saying you have to follow the same opinion as him, but
we very rarely do.
But I think
that's the beauty of it. We can disagree.
Yeah. I think. Anyway, I know he's my leader and probably your leader when it comes to the ticket. So specifically, he kind of had a heated, this was a while back, but video games are a waste of time. And the general, I think, point that he was making was you could be doing other things, working out, I don't know, whatever.
My thing is video games are good because you could be doing other things. That's why I like them.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you're on the same page.
I'm a video game
completely
guy.
on the same page.
Yeah, I remember you like, what was it? Call of Duty?
Play some sports games. I also I'm a big Skyrim fan,
Yeah.
you know, running around killing dragons and
Sure.
casting spells and stuff like that. You know,
It's awesome.
That's fun for me.
Yeah.
Can't do that in real life.
Yeah.
So
Well, you can, but
you could try. Not to the success that I have on Skyrim though.
yeah, so I'm fully on board with you because I think too this came about because Joe Rogan, who everybody probably knows who Joe Rogan is, was like video games are dumb and you could be doing jujitsu and learning something, and it's like I get it, but so
then I'd be having to do jujitsu.
yeah, exactly.
That sounds really hard.
Well, it's like, or you could be like sleeping, or you could be, like.
Can I download jujitsu to my TV while I'm
Right.
asleep? Like, I don't think so.
I'm a big video game guy. I'll play. I've been playing Call of Duty with my brother. We'll play.
I get worked at a lot of the shooter games.
Yeah.
Like,
they're intense.
I had the Battlefronts for a while, and just getting worked on the Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Whenever time David and I, our guitar player, would hop on there, and he's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren would whip my ass at it. I was like, I'm done with this game.
Yeah,
This game's dumb. This game's dumb. Jake's right. Video games are dumb.
yeah.
Whenever you lose.
Whenever you lose.
Emma is, I want to say, a semi-professional Mario Kart player.
Oh,
For
I think
sure.
we can say that. Yeah.
Lauren's like the Mario Party or whatever.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Which I
Also
never
fun.
played when I was younger,
I love
and she
any
just
Mario.
waxes me at that too.
Yeah.
So
Mario's awesome.
Mario Party's underrated. Also a fun game.
Mhm.
Mario Kart we actually bought for team building with our
The office.
in our office in our conference room, and we just did that like all the time. So then we kind of had to stop playing. But I still feel like I beat you most of the time.
No, you
I'd say.
didn't. Whatever, dude. Freaking dry bones over here.
Dude, I do pick Dry Bones. I like
Dry
Dry
Bones.
Bones. I like his attitude. He like throws his head in there, flips around. He's a
Yep.
fun little guy. You know, Bowser. Some of those guys. I'm
Yoshi,
like,
Yoshi's a
Yoshi.
good
Yoshi's
good shot.
I like Cat Peach.
Cat Peach. There's the one that's Mario where he's in a raccoon outfit.
Yeah, that guy's cute.
And then I didn't realize whatever it's called, Tanuki or something. That's probably not right, but that is a type of raccoon in Japan.
Yeah.
which I was unfamiliar
Oh.
with.
And it's actually crazy because when they eat a green leaf, they can fly after that. So
Oh.
that's
Oh.
it's a very just specific to that Japanese
That makes
kind of
sense.
raccoon.
And they're almost like reddish in color. Very beautiful creatures. But yeah, Bowser, like Wario, like I wouldn't be friends with those guys. You know, in real
they
life.
seem
look
like bad people.
look like dicks. So anyway, glad. One thing, one of Jake's famous quotes, space. Not a big fan
yeah.
of space.
Yeah.
How
What
do
does
you
that
feel about
mean?
space?
I'm a fan of space.
Yeah.
I like space. Here's where Jake's coming from.
Yeah.
Like
If I-
the
allow me to
space?
correct.
Yeah,
like
in
outer
general,
space.
space.
Not like space.
Yeah, I'm
No.
not really bringing up his point.
I mean,
by
space
the
is
way,
great,
but-
6 feet, nowadays or whatever. But outer space. Here's where I know where, or at least where I think he's coming from. He thinks there's a lot better things we could spend money on
Right.
than NASA, and where that's concerned, I maybe don't disagree with him there.
Right.
Like, there's probably some more important stuff than space for us to be just
Yeah.
dumping money in. But from what I've understood, the government's kind of backed out of funding a lot of that anyway,
Yeah.
and now that's why you have Elon Musk,
Mm-hmm.
firing shit into the air, in West Texas, no problem. But I think space is supremely interesting.
Yeah,
Just the whole idea of it, it's really weird to me.
I'm
My
fascinated by it. Yeah.
dad and I were real into that growing up. We'd go to, if we ever went on vacation, we'd drive to Cocoa Beach, and then
Mhm.
go do a tour of NASA while we were there up in
That's
Cape
awesome.
Canaveral. And
Yeah.
I was just blown away by it. Like, just the fact that they could whiz somebody up there and get them back down
Yeah.
without them just completely melting. Like, it was kind of
Yeah.
nuts to me. Like,
Did you do space camp? ever?
no, I never
Yeah.
did space
That was
camp.
kind of a rich kid thing.
Yeah,
to be
super
honest.
expensive.
Yeah.
Like, it looked awesome, and in my mind, space camp, you basically got to go to space or something. Like, you could probably float in zero gravity at some point. And I was like, oh, I got to check that out. But
Sounds
apparently apparently it's way less cool than that. So
you just like go stay in a dorm somewhere. And
yeah, yeah.
they give you a textbook.
Yeah, you could stay in gross Houston for a little bit, and then get sack lunches
Houston.
Yeah, Trump was all in on the Space Force idea, and then I think that didn't.
That's incredible.
pan out.
Oh my goodness.
Just like
Space
Randy
Force,
Quaid
like,
in a jet.
unbelievable.
Up there. So yeah, who knows? We'll see what happens with that. And I do get his point of that. I find space fascinating.
Sure.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. There's something where speaking of me and Jake. I played golf with Bob Sturm, good friend of mine, the other day. He's also on the ticket, Tier 1 broadcaster. And Jake texts me, I'm upset that you and Bob are better friends than we are now. And I said to Jake, it's because you don't play golf. Because I'm a golf guy. And
he doesn't play at all?
He doesn't. And in fact, he hates golf.
That's weird.
Not a golf guy.
Not a big golf guy. So... you're a sportsman yourself. That's been well documented. What's your take?
I played baseball too long to be any kind of good at golf. Everything I hit goes about 100 yards to the into the right. But I enjoy it. Like I'm more of a driving range guy than a let's keep score and see how embarrassed I am at the end of the round.
Right. Top golf.
I had
Top
pretty
golf is fun,
pretty sweet hookup as a kid because I went to North Richland Middle School and my cousin was the drink cart lady at Iron Horse.
Nice.
And Iron Horse is pretty tough course.
Yeah.
Especially when you're, that age, like younger. I wasn't very good at golf anyway, but like middle school, 9th grade, 10th grade. But we go up there and she'd hook it up with the Snickers and the Dr. Peppers.
Nice.
So it was kind of worth it up there,
That's awesome. Yeah, I love golf. Paul and I, we're big golf guys. We've talked about this, but it is the golf guy culture is interesting.
Yeah.
And the other day we were at the local course and you were like, everyone's dressed the same.
I was like, who is who?
So that's one thing I've noticed. It's one of the only sports where you dress like the athletes when you go watch it.
Right.
Like you don't really put on like a full baseball uniform
you
to go to a
have
baseball
to.
game. Like you kind of dress like the athletes there.
Yeah. You got stirrups
or you
on
get
when you're
kicked
going
out.
to the
You have to
Rangers
wear a
game.
collar.
Yeah, because that was and like there's all these weird.
I've pushed those boundaries before. They didn't kick me out of Colonial the last couple years, and
I wanted to talk about.
I was not dressed appropriately for Colonial, but
we had a Colonial day.
yeah,
I don't know.
that was
Don't
so
really
much fun.
remember a lot of it.
I don't. I'm a little surprised they didn't just immediately throw us out. I don't know if there's two people that didn't look like they didn't look more like they shouldn't have been there than us two.
I was like, "Where you got those red drinks around here somewhere?" I'm looking for a red drink.
That's right. Plaid jackets,
Yeah.
dude. Those will get you.
And we
Delicious.
We have been sponsors. We didn't this year, obviously, but we've been sponsors, and so we were in the clubhouse just getting ripped on frozen drinks.
Yeah.
We didn't even
Some
know
sort
what
of frozen-
golf was.
Some sort of frozen situation.
Vodka.
Yeah, but I'm glad I remember you meeting up, and then I remember us chatting, and then
Got in that shady Uber van.
Yeah, really weird Uber ride.
Don't remember that.
You were dancing with sunglasses on at the reservoir.
Yeah. Somehow my body made it to Reservoir, and
Been asked to leave there before.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, who
easy.
hasn't? And allegedly, I was throwing ice cubes at our friends
Tight.
in Reservoir.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
That was
And,
fun. I miss Colonial.
That was a
days.
fun night. I think
But
we ended at the Mad Hatter or something
Yeah.
like that.
Dude,
Briefly.
I
Well, too, I remember like this delicious frozen concoction,
Yeah.
and it was near the end of the day, and they were like, "Yeah, this is like the last of it," so they just gave us.
Yeah, but we
more.
rattled off like 3 or 4 there just real
Yeah.
quick.
that gave me the chills.
And they were like big gulp size,
But I
but
think it was like settled, like the vodka had
All
like
the alcohol.
settled at the
Yeah.
bottom, and so they were like, "Here you go," and then we were like, one sip, and we were
Liquor
like,
juice. Yeah, it's just
okay.
like liquor juice at the bottom.
dude, that was
Yeah.
fun.
I remember my friend talking about like family problems, and I was like, "We're drunk, aren't we? How did we already get into
That's
this?"
how you know
Like,
you're drunk, though, when people start talking about that stuff.
so let's go drink more, I guess. That was a great time though. So that's fun. I do like some elements of it, but
That part of golf is the best.
Oh man, yeah.
yeah. And I
Going to
love,
golf tournament's great.
yeah. I love the competition because I'm a little bit of a psycho. I feel like especially like even when we play Mario Kart, like I want to
Yeah.
win. That's why I like video games. And so I do like the competition side of it. But like the last time me and Bob played, we were playing in this, little small tournament thing, and these guys that we played with were talking about the last week they played for $20,000 in just a game at like Mira Vista. And you're like, okay. And so it can get intense. And so it's a weird
Golf's super weird.
culture, but also there's a lot of like fun that I like. But I get where Jake's coming from on that, because it's definitely for people that grew up like me and grew up like him, you know, it's like the snobbiness of it can be off-putting.
There was a driving range in Lubbock when I was out there that was BYOB. Nice. It was kind of just a cotton field. Yeah. But that was excellent. That was super fun. You know, just grab a case of beer and then
I like that.
You stay out there until you can't hit the golf balls anymore and then go back home.
Yeah, for a moment you get like better because
there's a sweet
tipsy,
spot.
Yeah,
a sweet spot. Like three beers in, you're like, I'm cruising these things right now.
Yeah.
Like,
and then it's like terrible.
well documented. And one of the last times I was playing, me and my friend were playing and we were like doing really well. And then where he plays, it's like at the 12th hole, you can come get drinks. And so we got some drinks. Go out on the 12th, and then just started playing terribly and just stopped
just
keeping score. We're like, whatever, this will be fun. So then at that point, it's like, well, I guess we're just driving a golf cart around this, you know, the ball isn't going where I want it to. So yeah, anything else? Briefly, power rank. Do you want to do this power rank?
Yeah.
And then, so we always do a power rank at the end of every episode. We've done, what have we done? We've done power rank Cheetos products. We've power ranked Chick-fil-A sauces with Grady, which was a great episode. With Jonathan, we just did MJ versus LeBron. He's a big basketball guy, so that was
like rank best players.
And so you, some would describe as a dirty lib, right? Can we say that?
Sure, yeah.
So, nothing against that. And we have similar ideologies, but what I wanted to say was man of the people, inclusive, open to all. So I feel this way too, and I think you probably feel the same, but I love a good chain restaurant every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
And so one thing I wanted to hit up with the Thick Trinity, best generic chain restaurant. And this could be, there's not really parameters for this, but what I had down, Chili's, Applebee's, Outback, Olive Garden, that type of thing. One, do you recognize the beauty of a good chain restaurant?
Absolutely.
And then two, what are your thoughts?
Chain restaurants are special to us, having been traveling the last 9-10 years of my life.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, there's a lot of times where we try to eat as different types of food when especially when, we're in overseas in Europe and everything like that. You want to try stuff that they don't have at home.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, especially in transit, you're like, I need a meal. I know that this place is going to taste the same every time.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's got to be Waffle House.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Waffle House, I know what I'm getting every time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to taste the same. You watch the guy make it, the people back there are making it. That's just always, it's always open.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been a favorite of ours, specifically in the band. We do, I guess this is not generic, but Chuy's is a lot more prevalent nowadays.
Chuy's is
and
good.
Chuy's is like kind of your only way to get good Tex-Mex outside of the Tex-Mex regions.
Yeah.
So you can hit a Chuy's up in Ohio and you're like, okay, we're good.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. Yeah.
We're safe here.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
But for me, of the generic chains, Waffle House has got to be, that's top of the notch for me.
And Waffle House too. The good thing about Waffle House, if you don't like your order, they'll fight you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you. If you have a complaint,
They'll
I think
absolutely fight you. Yeah.
that's actually the job application process. You have to fight the manager, and then if you win, then you can be the grill
That
cook.
place is great though. It's it's great prices.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
real eggs. They're not pouring eggs out of a carton. They're not, it's real food. It's great. Delicious.
Yeah.
Smothered, covered, and chunked.
That's what you go with?
Yeah.
I didn't have them down on my list, but I think that's probably obviously a strong number one.
Yeah.
We went, and it's pretty documented. We went on Christmas Day to
Christmas
Applebee's.
Ooh.
And
like 14 of our closest friends.
Yeah, and it was a weird. Let's be honest, it was weird.
Yeah.
It was a
Best
little bit
people
weird.
watching ever.
But also a great time.
Did you get any of those margaritas they make in the bucket?
What? No.
They do. They were doing.
Probably.
They were doing like $1 margaritas for a while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
But
were.
they literally just make it in one of those, 5-gallon buckets.
Yeah.
And they pour. Somebody posted online a video of them making it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got fired afterwards. But it's literally just one of those plastic handles of sweet and sour, and one of those plastic handles of like Montezuma tequila in the 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
So that only takes up, about 2 or 3 inches of the bottom of the bucket, and then they just take water from like a water hose and just fill it up.
Water hose.
like it's like the mop hose, the one's only like 3 feet long, and they just like just drill it up, and then enjoy your 150
Delicious.
margaritas you just made.
I live tweeted it at the time, and it was great. But I thought it was it was incredible, and the mix of all walks of life.
Yeah,
and that's what was like cool about it, and it was just absolute bonkers. I mean, it was probably
Dude, you
like
couldn't find a parking spot.
their most successful day, and it was a whole series of events that led us to be there, and this whole thing. And we're mainly being with a friend that it kind of had a rough time and stuff, and so we're all collectively like, let's just go hang out at Applebee's. It's the only place open. And it was really a cool moment. And then the reason I bring them up, I don't like Applebee's. That's not my pick. I just wanted to say, make that perfectly clear. But then we went to a wedding in the middle of nowhere, Georgia.
Yeah.
And that was the one place that was there was a Applebee's and I think a Waffle House, but it wasn't like near the hotel.
right.
And then they were like, there's an Amish restaurant that's open on Tuesdays or something. And we're like, oh, where are we?
Amish restaurant. What is Amish food?
I don't know. I still to this day,
Nachos.
I don't know. And I'm talking about in the middle. It was like near Macon,
It's
but
like Perry, Georgia.
Perry, Georgia.
But you know what was the same? The food and the cold beer at Applebee's was the same.
The service
You know
was
exactly
great.
what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Service was very friendly.
Had like 5 beers and then crashed.
Growing up, and this, describes my childhood, but growing up, I would go to TGI Fridays for my birthday.
Oh,
That was a big deal, right?
I don't mind me taking a little peek at the Jack Daniels menu.
Yeah.
At the ribs.
Just gonna get
Take a
some.
ride.
Just
yeah.
go ahead and put some of that goop all over it. Like
Yeah.
back when Virgin Airlines was a deal, their in-flight food was all TGI Fridays.
Really?
Did you ever fly on Virgin?
I
No.
Oh my goodness!
No,
I
no.
I don't think
RIP
so.
that. I think Alaska Airlines bought them, but I think they pulled out like 15 seats in normal planes, just stretched everything out. It was all like
Awesome.
one class. There wasn't like first class or anything, but it was like fully loaded iTunes and movies and music for free in every seat.
Awesome.
You could order at any point during the flight from the full TGI Fridays Jack Daniels menu. So it's just
Class,
hammering down
baby.
some
Straight
chicken fingers,
class.
like coated in that, Jack Daniels barbecue sauce or whatever.
Yeah.
You could order drinks to other people's seats.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
if you're
Like,
so inclined, but
B12.
Yeah.
it's always really, attractive, multinational people there working.
Sure.
It's just
Yeah.
everyone was really good looking
Yeah.
that worked there. I loved it. The
That sounds
mood lighting in the
awesome.
planes kind of felt like a limousine. So it
Man.
was great.
We
It
need
sounds
that.
kind of like the premise for Soul Plane, the movie
Yeah.
Soul Plane.
Yeah, that's
Almost
what I was
exactly
thinking.
like Soul Plane. Yeah.
But they like actually did it.
Yeah.
Your Mom's House podcast, Tom Segura and Christina Pajitsky, one of our favorites, or my favorite. I don't know if you've ever watched it. They were talking about Outback this week, which really got me thinking, and the Bloomin' Onion. And I've always been kind of preferential to Outback just because it's like, if you want a steak, but you don't want to spend money necessarily, you could go there. But the Bloomin' Onion, and they pulled it up. It's do you have any idea how many calories a Bloomin' Onion is?
It's monumental,
It's
right?
a lot.
It's like one of the worst things at like a chain restaurant you could ever eat.
Yeah. You want a ballpark?
Isn't it like $3,000?
3,000 calories.
3,000.
Yeah,
grief.
3,000 calories. And I don't think that's with the like mayo dip.
Yeah, though that's definitely not including
aioli,
whatever you're hosing that thing
Chipotle.
down with.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember
do
having.
people crush those alone? Like
Yeah.
not sharing?
Do people do that? I've done that. I
Dude,
think.
I know I've watched you do that.
I love a good Bloomin' Onion. I think that's Bloomin' Onion. Awesome Blossom was like the knockoff.
That was the Chili's version.
Oh,
is
okay. I was like, yeah, where's that from?
Also
is that
good,
what's your number one?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting sidetracked. I probably, just for variety, I would say I'm going to go Chili's.
Really? Getting some salsa.
That's a good choice.
But you
chips.
like threw up one time at a Chili's. So you
Immediately
probably
after
don't
eating.
feel the same way.
One of those, they had the chicken Caesar salad like wrap thing. Immediately went out.
Oh no.
In Tyler, Texas, off the loop. I know exactly where it is. Yeah, that's happened to me twice.
Tyler. Everybody peels out in Tyler.
Dude,
you noticed that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Just Tyler.
Yeah, because you grow up, if you live in Tyler, then you grew up in like Gun Barrel City.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't even have roads there. They just, just no learning of any type.
Roads.
No, Tyler's some of the worst drivers. And like I've been to Atlanta, I've been to LA, like everywhere. And it's just a mess. But
What are you getting at Chili's? You're getting those honey.
chicken
Chicken
crispers.
crispers. Yeah, crispers.
They used to do a little mini buffalo sandwiches that were
Dude.
phenomenal.
Those were good.
The
You had 'em?
sliders.
Yeah.
With the little bacon and the onion
We used
straws.
to request that they made them.
They still
too.
do that.
Tell
What
the
that?
chef to,
What's it called? Like the King Ranch sandwich or something. It's like a buffalo chicken sandwich with the. I don't remember what all's on it. It's great. though.
Phenomenal.
Probably
Yeah.
some ranch.
So I haven't put a lot of thought in this, but I'd probably go with them. I
Yeah?
think I know what you're gonna say.
OG, baby. OG all day. Dude.
You've always been. an
Always.
Olive Garden's great though. Like
Yeah.
soup salad breadsticks is
Yeah.
undefeated. You
Yeah.
know,
Dude.
like
I literally had their salad last night.
get your raspberry tea with it.
They
yeah, it's great.
I saw we've talked about this, I think, but I saw where someone took the breadsticks and used them for hot dog buns. And I thought that was a
Bold.
interesting
That's
choice.
bold flavors right there.
But do you have a preference with
Hot dog buns or
No, I'm sorry. Olive Garden when you hear your family.
no
Right.
rules, just right. What do you mean? What do I get?
Yeah.
I go soup at Toscana,
Delicious.
soup and salad usually, and
Yeah.
then
Served by a
I just-
13-year-old.
yeah, I kind of just like the classics,
Yeah.
like a never-ending pasta bowl. I mean, obviously,
Fettuccine Alfredo.
I'm
and
getting one bowl of never-ending pasta, but
when I was a
I love
kid,
it.
we used to eat there after church, and I would dunk my breadsticks in my Coke.
Hell yeah.
And the thing was, is if my parents would have just ordered the Alfredo boat, I know it's like $7 extra. It's just kind of expensive, but I wanted to dip it in something.
yeah, it's natural.
But
You're
no
ahead of your
Alfredo
time.
boat, it's going in the Coke, Dad.
It's
It's gonna happen every time. Like,
dude.
But
you
there's
do
something
you.
to that too. You got to soften those breadsticks
yeah,
a
it's
little
all
bit at a time.
squishy and delicious. You ruined your Coke.
And that's such a beautiful American restaurant of bring me a boat of Alfredo sauce,
Yeah.
please, so I can dip these giant
They
breadsticks.
Would you
used
like
to-
an extra heavy cream sauce to dip that carb in? You're like, I absolutely would. Bring it out.
They used to have the pumpkin pie cheesecake. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah.
Delicious.
We got what's up? Oh, Campese's the other day, and they do fried ravioli. Have you had that?
Campese's is excellent.
It's delicious.
Love Campese's.
Yeah.
They used to do a crab claw appetizer that was
Oh, they did.
amazing.
We've had it. It was good.
It's delicious, and if you want to, drop 1,000 on the Cowboys, you can do that too there. So anyway,
Whoops.
Sam, thanks for coming. We really appreciate
Of course,
it.
thanks for having me.
You can follow Sam at thick_Trinity on Twitter at QCNH. That's Quaker City Nighthawks. Like we said, the intro song to this, Sam was nice enough to allow us to play. That's from El Astronauta, right? And then
That's Spanish for the astronaut.
What?
Yeah.
Space.
For those of y'all that don't habla.
so you are into space, yeah? Okay.
Super into space.
And then 2019 was QCNH, right?
Correct.
The title of the album, a great album.
Mysterious title. No one knows what it stands for. So.
So please follow them on all their stuff, buy their merch, buy their music. If you go on Spotify, just play their stuff on loop for 24 hours, so you get those plays up. But we're very, very thankful for you coming, man. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
We did it. Piece of cake. Shout out, John. Happy birthday.